Biscuit was not a kitten when they found him. He was full-grown, thick-coated, easily 18 pounds of muscle and fur. He was sitting inside a plain cardboard box taped shut on 3 sides, left outside the shelter's night drop at 5:40 in the morning. There was no note, there was no name. There was only a rip in the tape where he had clawed at the corner, trying to get out, trying to understand why the world had gone dark and small and quiet. The intake worker who found him wrote 3 words on this file: surrendered, unknown owner, skittish. He did not eat for 2 days. He pressed himself into the back corner of his kennel and watched the door, ears flat, eyes wide, waiting for someone who was never going to walk back through it. Volunteers said he flinched at raised voices. They said he was too big, too nervous, too much for a first-time cat owner. Week after week, people walked past his kennel and reached for the smaller, easier cats instead. Margaret was 68 years old. Her husband, Frank, had died in March after 41 years of marriage, and the house had not felt like a home since. She was not looking for a cat that day. She had gone to the shelter with a friend, mostly to get out of the house, mostly to feel like she still had somewhere to be. She wandered past the front kennels, the friendly ones, the ones the staff always showed first. Then she turned down a back hallway by accident, and there he was, 18 pounds of orange fur pressed into a corner, watching her the way a person watches a door they are afraid will slam shut again. A volunteer hurried over and said, "Oh, that one's not really adoptable, ma'am. He's been returned once already. Very anxious, very big." Margaret did not move. She crouched down slowly, the way you crouch for someone who has been hurt before, and she said, "You're not too much. You're just scared." He did not come to the front of the kennel, he did not purr, but he looked at her and he did not look away. She signed the papers that same afternoon. The first week at home, Biscuit hid behind the couch. Margaret did not chase him out. She set food down twice a day, said good morning and good night in a soft, even voice, and let him decide when he was ready. On the 4th night, she woke up to find him sitting at the foot of the bed, just watching her breathe. She did not reach for him, she just whispered, "Hi, sweet boy," and went back to sleep. In the morning, there was a warm patch on the quilt beside her feet. Weeks turned into a routine neither of them planned. Every afternoon at 4 o'clock, when the light hit the kitchen window a certain way, Biscuit would walk to the same spot on the sill and sick. Margaret started calling it his appointment. She began talking to him the way she used to talk to Frank, telling him about the garden, about a letter from her sister, about nothing at all. One evening, sitting on her lap for the first time, Biscuit made a sound she had never heard from him, a low, rumbling purr that filled the whole quiet room. Margaret cried, not because she was sad, but because for the first time in months, the house did not feel empty. If a story like Biscuit's has ever made you believe in second chances, this channel exists for exactly that reason. We tell the stories the shelters don't have time to tell, the ones about the cats nobody expected to matter. Hit subscribe so the next one finds you too. By the time winter came, Biscuit followed Margaret from room to room like a quiet orange shadow. He slept pressed against her side every night, one paw always resting on her arm, as if to make sure she was still there. He learned the sound of her car in the driveway and waited by the door, tail curled around his feet, eyes on the handle. He learned which chair was hers and never once tried to take it, choosing instead the spot beside it, close enough to touch. Margaret told her sister on the phone she finally felt like someone was watching over her again, not the other way around. The neighbors started calling him her shadow with a heartbeat. She had no idea how true that would become. It happened on a Thursday afternoon at 4:12, right when Biscuit usually took his spot on the windowsill. Margaret was standing at the kitchen counter when the room started to tilt. Her chest felt tight, then heavy, then wrong in a way she had never felt before. She reached for the counter and missed. She went down hard onto the kitchen floor, and the phone stayed exactly where it was, 3 rooms away, useless. For a moment, the only sound in the house was her own ragged breathing against the tile. Biscuit did not hide. He did not freeze the way he once had, back in that taped-up box, waiting for someone who never came. He ran straight to the front window, the one that faced the sidewalk, and he screamed. Maine Coons do not meow like other cats. They chirp, they trill. And when something is truly wrong, they wail, a sound closer to a human cry than an animal one. He wailed until a neighbor out watering her front porch plants stopped and turned. He wailed until she pressed her face to the glass and saw him clawing at the window over and over, pointing his whole body toward the kitchen. She called 911 from the front porch, then pounded on the door, until Margaret, barely conscious, managed to crawl close enough to unlock it. The paramedics arrived 9 minutes later. They found Margaret on the kitchen floor, pale and struggling to breathe, with an 18-pound cat standing guard directly over her chest, refusing to move even as strangers rushed in. One paramedic later told the neighbor she had never seen anything like it. He said the cat only stepped aside once they lifted Margaret onto the stretcher, and even then, he followed them all the way to the front door and sat on the porch until the ambulance disappeared down the street. He was still sitting there, in the exact same spot, when the neighbor came back to check on him an hour later. Margaret spent 5 days in the hospital. The doctor said if she had been alone even 20 minutes longer, the outcome might have been very different. When she finally came home, Biscuit was sitting in the front window exactly where he always sat at 4 o'clock, as if he had never left. He did not leave her side for the next 3 days straight. People sometimes ask Margaret why she chose the cat nobody wanted, the big one, the anxious one, the one every volunteer warned her about. She always gives the same answer. I didn't choose the easy cat. I chose the one who needed someone to stay, and in the end, he's the one who made sure I did. Biscuit is 7 years old now. He still takes his 4 o'clock seat by the window every single day, without fail. Margaret says she used to think Frank left her a quiet, empty house. Now she thinks he sent her exactly who she needed instead. Some cats are chosen because they are beautiful. Some are chosen because they are easy. But the ones who wait in the back kennel, the ones marked too anxious, too big, too much, they are sometimes the ones who end up saving us right back. Nobody knows what Biscuit's life looked like before that cardboard box. Nobody knows why he was left there or by whom, or how long he sat in the dark wondering if anyone would come. What Margaret knows is simpler than all of that. She knows that on the worst afternoon of her life, a cat nobody wanted was the only one who refused to look away. If this story stayed with you, there's another one waiting that you won't want to miss, about a 32-pound cat everyone called a monster, the one neighbors begged his grieving owner to give away, right up until the night he woke her from a house fire before it was too late. That story is just as unforgettable as this one, and it's ready for you right now.